So, welcome to the discussion on the COC2 demonstration. So, basically, COC2 demonstration would be conducted for 20 minutes and this is for conduct competency assessment. So, ang focus po natin when it comes to conducting the competency assessment is of course being an assessor. Okay? So, let us start on what would be wait lang po. Ayan, conduct competency assessment. So, ano yung mga need nating ipakita during the assessment, as ito naman yung flow through, and this one would be the sample of your COC2 demonstration talaga. Okay? So this is the first part of the COC2 demonstration, or organizing and identifying activities in the workplace, training center, assessment center in relevance to the assessment guide, evidence guide, obtain and check and arrange resources, check cost of assessment and assessment processes, inform appropriate personnel of the assessment activities in line with the organizational policy and procedures. Basically, parang sa COC1 demonstration, mag-i-start ang COC2 demonstration na ikaw bilang assessor, and it is your responsibility to do so, becoming an assessor nga, to actually check all of the resources within the assessment center to ensure the proper conduct of the competency assessment. So, part po ng responsibility ng assessor that even before starting the whole assessment process, ay may ensure po niya na kompleto at appropriate ang lahat ng mga resources na gagamitin during the national assessment. Okay? Napakahalaga po nun guys ha, ma-inform po tayo na ang assessment ay kailangan maayos hinahandle. Dapat walang aberya yan. Kasi the purpose of the assessment is to actually gauge the current knowledge and skills of your candidates, and you being the assessor nga, you have the certain expertise that will evidently say that the whole assessment process can be conducted in accordance with appropriateness and of course in a in a very appropriate manner. So pagka hindi umabot sa ganong sitwasyon na appropriate at kompleto ang paraan natin kung paano mag-handle ng assessment, it can compromise the whole assessment process. So napakahalaga pong ma-establish lahat yung whole assessment process even before starting it. So dapat lahat yan, walang magiging problema. So ang mangyayari dyan during your 20 minutes COC2 demonstration, mag-start siya with acknowledging the completeness and the appropriateness of the said assessment tools. Pakinggan natin.
Calculator, journals, papers, ballpens, pencils, eraser, staple wire, stapler, envelopes. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome.
So by acknowledging the completeness of all of the resources, ay i-ensure na natin na mako-cover itong checklist part na ito. Okay? So after that, you will be continuing on the assessment orientation part na. So parehas siya ng COC1 demonstration, no, sa COC2. Hati din siya sa tatlo. So si COC2 demonstration ay ang first part niya is orientation din. Pero once again, this is the most important part, no, of the whole assessment process. Then to be followed by the assessment proper. So kung si COC1 demonstration ay may training proper, si COC2 ay may assessment proper. So you will be administering the whole assessment process and of course the methods. So napakalaga po dito is yung ina-act out mo yung pagiging assessor. So that also includes rating and evidence gathering. And of course, lastly, would be for the feedback. So dito, ang gagawin natin dito is dalawa yung inyong candidates, no? Since may partner na kayo, it could be the same person having different roles. So bakit dalawa? Because you will be simulating a candidate or two candidates, no? So first candidate, siya ay magiging competent. Second candidate would be not yet competent. So kung pwede naman din po na isa lang ang ating candidate, no? And of course it happens. But if you want to pursue or continue with only one candidate, of course kailangan mo ipakita yung not yet competent result. Kasi ang dali mag-provide ng competent rating, no? And then it is of course part din nung COC2 demonstration na checklist kung paano tayo mag-handle ng not yet competent na result. Later, papakita ko po sa inyo yan. Nandito yan sa baba. Okay? Next. So you will continue on the assessment orientation. Ito yung pinakaunang gagawin, guys, ha? You will state your name and the qualification. So, my name is, state your name. I am an accredited competency assessor for state your qualification must be supported with a national certificate or NC level. So, the assessor must wear the ID as proof of the accreditation. So, si assessor's ID ay binigyan ko po kayo ng template. Ano pa? So, you will fill, maliban dun sa portfolio natin for COC1, you will be filling up those 3 documents na pinakita ko po sa inyo or part ng ating submission bins, which would be the output of the assessment result, and your ID. So for example, si Dia una, so under templates, meron tayo competency assessment tools, assessor's ID sampler, pinagsama ko na pala yung tools tsaka yung results. So ito yung tools natin, no? Attendance sheet, of course, napakahalaga. Rating sheet. At cars. Asan yung cars? At ito naman yung ating ID. So of course, fill upan nyo lang ulit yan. At yan, kung hindi siya nakatama, iusog-usog lang natin. Okay? So napakahalaga po niyan, ha. Huwag po natin yung kakalimutan. Kasing halaga po yan ng portfolio. So check natin to. Kung wala ako na ma-provide dun sa template na cars, bigyan ko na lang kayo ulit isa-isa. Wala yata talaga. Sige, magbibigay na lang ako ng template for cars. Anyway, baka dito sa kabila meron. Okay, magpo-provide na lang po ako ng template ng cars. So right after that, you will proceed with acknowledging the presence of the tester representative and the AC manager. Yan yung next mong gagawin. Of course, the purpose of the AC manager is to basically provide or basically para siyang producer no ng pelikula. Ang mahalaga is you will conduct the whole competency assessment and the EC manager being the owner of the assessment center or from the administration side of the assessment center. Ang trabaho ng EC manager ay may mag-make sure that the whole assessment process would be done smoothly at perfectly, no? Kasi siya yung nagpo-provide ng resources, facilities, tools, materials, and equipment. Si tester representative naman po on the other hand is there to make sure that the proper conduct of the assessment would be conducted. So parang more on legality or more on appropriateness ng pagka-handle ng whole assessment process ang concern niya. So, kaya natin ina-acknowledge yung presence ng AC manager and the tester representative is of course to establish their roles during the assessment process. At kasi when it comes, for example, kayo po ay isang candidate, magtataka ka. Bakit parang ang dami ng bakit ang daming taong abala no, nandun sa ating harap, sino ba talaga ang susundin? So explaining their presence basically establishes the whole assessment process. So what are the roles of the assessment personnel na nakita ng ating mga candidates? Secondly, it alleviates their wordiness and nervousness. So yun ang nakalagay, you don't have to worry about their presence. They are here to oversee the conduct of the assessment and to check if the conduct of the assessment is in accordance with the prescribed competency assessment methodology and procedures. They will not assess you. So yun, napakahalaga na establish yung roles at the same time na alleviate natin yung nervousness ng ating mga candidates when it comes to the national assessment. It is our responsibility, no, bilang assessors to ensure that the proper conduct of assessment no ay masunod at yung 100% at the same time no ng ating mga candidates ay maibibigay nila during the national assessment kasi nga ang role natin dito is malaman kung ang isang tao po ba, ang isang candidate po ba ay considered competent na ang kanyang skills, ang kanyang knowledge, and of course, ang kanyang attitude sa isang qualification at specific level ng competency. So, dapat may provide niya yung 100% niya. Okay? So, let's continue on the sample CO2 demonstration.
Welcome to Bataan School of Fisheries, an accredited assessment center of TESDA. My name is Raquel Belmonte, and I will be your competency assessor for bookkeeping NC3. I also would like to acknowledge the presence of our EC manager, Ms. Myla Perez, and of course, our tester representative, Ms. Myra Cruz. Good morning, ma'am. Don't worry about their presence as they are here to oversee the conduct of assessment to see if it is in accordance with the prescribed guidelines of TESDA. Okay, so now let me...
Okay, so let's continue. Before I start, let me first check the attendance. Please present me your admission slip once your name is called. So, the way we check the attendance or the identity rather of the candidates is tatlo muka basically ang tinitingnan natin to confirm their identity, kung tama ba yung kanilang identity. So, ano-ano yung mukhang yun? Ang pinakaunang muka ay muka nung picture sa admission slip. So, validated dapat no na yung mukha sa admission slip which be the face of the person who applied for the national assessment ang nandun. Secondly, yung muka ng taong nandun mismo sa assessment day. Kung parehas ba yung taong nag-apply at yung taong dumating. Third and last would be the face on a valid ID. Kung yung pumunta ba na tao, yung nag-apply po ba na tao ay magkamuka, wala naman pong problema. Ang tanong, yung bang mukhang yun na nag-apply at yung nandun dumating sa assessment, ay yung totoong tao po bang nakapangalan? So yun yung validation natin in order for you to ensure the identity of your candidates. And we joke about it, of course, na bakit sobrang higpit naman. Sa assessment po ba ay may nagkakaroon ng instances na hindi ganun yung case? Na ibang tao yung dumating sa nag-apply? Opo. And it is with it is not a joke, no? May mga tao po talagang nangyayari na ganito. May tao na iba yung pinapapunta nila during the assessment sa taong nag-apply. Kadalasan tao nila yung pinapapunta nila. Kesyo busy, kesyo etc. At may ibang tao naman na hindi dumadating. At pinapakiusap na kung sino man ay pasa na lang. So of course, you will not do anything or any type of that stuff, no? Bilang assessor, ang integridad at moralidad ay napakahalaga. Bukod sa ating expertise sa qualification na ating nire-represent, remember, as the assessors, ang part of the requirement of applying as an assessor is for you to have at least 2 years industry experience through certificate of employment or any other certificate that can prove of your expertise on a certain qualification. But of course, it doesn't end there. Ang assessor ay may tinatawag na creed, assessor's credo ang tawag, no? And of course, ang purpose nun is to maintain the integrity of the whole assessment process. So, medyo maraming nakasulat doon, hindi ka magpapaapekto sa kung ano man ang iyong marinig other than the descriptive and objective behavior. Hindi ka sasali sa hindi ka makikibagay sa pagko-corrupt ng whole assessment process. And of course, responsibilidad ng assessor i-maintain ang integridad at moralidad ng isang assessment proceeding. So napakahalaga niyan, no, yung validation natin. And of course, it is with no joke, it happens po talaga na may mga times talaga na ibang tao yung dumadating kaysa sa nag-apply. Okay? After that, so after confirming the attendance, so mas mahalaga kung isa-isa po natin ginawa yan, no? Yung pagve-verify sa actual na po ito, ha. Verify natin isa-isa yung habang pinapasign yung attendance sheet, validate yung name on the admission slip, the face on the admission slip, the name and face on the ID, and of course, the mere presence of the candidate to be assessed. So after that, you will say that you have the accomplished self-assessment guide that can indicate that the candidates na i-assess po ninyo during that day is ready, willing, and able to undergo the full national assessment. Aware sila kung ano yung competencies to be assessed and what not. Okay? Okay. So, ang key term dito is I have here with me your accomplished self-assessment guide. Meaning to say, you will not be the one na magpapa-accomplish ng self-assessment guide because firstly, self-assessment guides are filled up during the application process of the national assessment. Hindi yan finifill upan during the national assessment. Pinipila pa niya pag nag-a-apply ka pa lang ng national assessment. Bakit? Kasi ang self-assessment guide is from the term itself, the candidates will assess themselves if they are ready, willing, and able to undergo the national assessment. Nakasulat po kasi dun sa SAG, what are the competencies to be assessed? What are the procedures kung paano i-assess yun? So bukod sa capable tayo, willing tayo, at kaya nating gawin, we are able to proceed with the whole assessment process. So that is validated in the application process of the national assessment. It is not on the assessment process itself. Naintindihan po yun? With me so far, thumbs up po kung naintindihan before I continue. Okay, so after that, magkakaroon na to ng overview of the whole assessment process. So before that, we will continue on the video.
Let me first check your attendance. As I call your name, kindly sign your attendance sheet and submit to me your admission slip and your ID. First, we have Mr. Cruz. Okay, and the admission. Next is Mr. Dizon. Ms. Dizon. Okay, so there are 10 of you present today for the national assessment. I also have here your accomplished application form and your self-assessment guide indicating that you are able to perform all the units of competency enumerated in your qualification. So the purpose of the national
So after that, you will proceed with the overview of the whole assessment process, starting with the qualification overview. What are the competencies to be assessed? What would be the evidence gathering methods? And what would be the procedures of which i-assess kayo? Ano yung mga paraan? Ano yung mga hahanapin? At paano mahanap? Evidence gathering. So yun, overview of the qualification to be assessed. Today, I am going to administer the competency assessment of your qualification. It is on the qualification level. It is the qualification level with kung ilan yung core competency. And you will continue on the following topics to consider when it comes to the national assessment. So itong mga topics na ito, yung mga yung 6 na nakalagay dyan, actually 10 yan eh. Pero yung other 4 ay makikita sa mga ibang parts na. No? So, excuse me. I-establish ko yan. Sige, i-discuss ko yung ibang salient points after that. So next you will be sorry, dito muna tayo. I-play muna natin yung video.
national assessment for bookkeeping NC3 is to determine the level of your competency. And if you are proven to be competent, you will be given the national certification. And the national certification can also be used abroad, or if there are some of you wanting to work in other countries.
Okay, let's go back kasi context and purpose of the assessment na yun. So yun, you will discuss the qualification overview starting with what are the assessment methods, what would be the evidence gathering methods. I-discuss din naman niya na una lang yung context and purpose of the assessment. And what are the competencies to be assessed. So continue lang natin. So first part, yung sinasabi niya, ulitin ko lang yung binaktra ko ng konti. That will be the the context and purpose of the assessment. The context and purpose of the assessment po kasi is to determine your specific level of competency on a qualification if you are already competent at a certain specific level, and if so, if you are considered to be competent on a specific level of competency, you will be awarded what we call the national certificate that validates your competence. So in the event that you will have the national certificate for your specific qualification, you will be considered competent for that specific level of competency. And the national certificate is valid nationally and of course abroad din. So kung mapapansin po natin, ang context and purpose of the national assessment is yung pagkakaroon ng national certificate. So i-explain natin kung ano yung halaga ng national certificate na yon. So one of the importance of the national certificate, it is a requirement in order for us to actually work abroad. Lahat po ng OFW, if you are or if you want to work abroad, no? Whatever work na inyong ina-applyan abroad, you should have a national certificate. Attachment po yan sa DMW, Department of Migrant Workers, sa inyong application. So for example, you want to become a welder in Japan. Dapat meron kang SMAW or any welding NC level 2. Prevalent yan of course on the early 2000s, no? Nagkaroon tayo ng kung mapapansin po ninyo, no, or kung naaalala nyo rather, nagkaroon tayo ng boom ng caregivers. I think that would be on Canada. Ang daming hiningi ni Canada na caregivers. So doon nagsimula actually mag-boom ang TESDA. Ang daming nagtayuan ng caregiving NC2 na na eskwelahan kasi nag-requirement siya sa Japan. And of course, caregiving NC2 is one of the requirements lang po for you to become caregivers in Japan. May other stuff pa pong hinihingi yan. But nonetheless, it is a requirement, a mandatory requirement, I might say. Na yan po, kung kayo po ay may experience na, ang NC po ay pinapa-red ribbon pa po yan sa POEA para lang ma-validate yung NC na yon. So, ganun ka-importante ang national certificate. Pangalawa, it can be a tool for you to be promoted. Credential yan eh. Diba? Ang national certificate. Especially if you're on the skill-based na trabaho. At kung may NC po talaga doon sa trabahong inyong inyong kinakabilangan. So yun po ang context and purpose of the assessment. We will continue on the video muna para malaman ko kung saan papunta yung kanyang sample.
NC3 is to determine the level of your competency. And if you are proven to be competent, you will be given the national certification. And the national certification can also be used abroad, or if there are some of you wanting to work in other countries. And this certification can also be used for your work promotion or for your further studies. So today, I am going to conduct competency assessment for bookkeeping NC3. And for this qualification, it is composed of 6 basic competencies, 4 common competencies, and 5 core.
So yun inuna lang niya yung context and purpose of the assessment. Before niya, ito na yung dinidiscuss niya eh. 4 competencies, evidences to be gathered, tsaka yung assessment methods. So continue lang po tayo.
Competencies such as prepare transactions, journal entries, post transactions, prepare trial balance, prepare financial reports, and review accounting system. Okay? And there are 3 types of assessment methods. The first one is the written test. For the written test, you may either get perpetual type of transactions or periodic type of transactions. And you have to do the whole accounting process, such as preparing journal entries, post-transactions, preparing trial balance, preparing financial reports, closing entries, adjusting entries, and post-closing trial balance. The next one is the demonstration. I will give you 5 transactions with 3 questions each. And to make it satisfactory, you have to get 12 correct answers. Okay? And the third one is the oral questioning. And my role is to gather all evidences to see if you meet all the requirements needed for the qualification of bookkeeping NC3. And there are 2 types of assessment results. The first one is competent, or the second one is not yet competent. If your result is competent, after your AC manager
Okay, so that would be the qualification overview, the assessment methods, and the evidence gathering method. So proceed na tayo dito. Kaya nakuha na to, no? So the next one after that would be the needs of the candidates. Sorry. Needs of the candidates during the assessment. So it is important for us to establish what are the needs of the candidates during the assessment. So you should consider talaga communicating with them. What are their situations that can affect their their performance. So usually apat po 'yan, no, yung tinatawag nating allowable and reasonable adjustments during the assessment orientation. So meron po kasing apat na usual na aspeto sa buhay ng isang taong makaka-apekto on the way they actually proceed with the whole assessment process. So unang-una, yan po yung health. So minsan may mga sitwasyon po ang ating mga candidates that can affect their whole assessment processes, like for example yung yung maintenance medicine. So at a certain time kailangan nila uminom ng gamot, and yun, you will provide them time to actually do medicate, no? So of course napakahalaga nun yung health as a consideration when it comes to the whole assessment process. Essentially, alam naman natin na kapag ina-assess ang isang tao, kinakabahan niyang mga yan. So if ever may situation sila na kailangan nilang mag-medicate, of course you will give them time. Secondly is the communication. So isang makakahinder sa isang tao when performing, no, or basically when being on the assessment is their communication with the instructions, no, and of course with the assessor. Pangalawa, yun nga, kinakabahan yan eh. So napakahalaga na ikaw bilang assessor, at the very least, you can establish the whole assessment process, the evidences requirements, and etc. na maintindihan nila. So one consideration when it comes to the needs of the candidates, and of course providing allowable and reasonable adjustments on those needs, is language. Dapat kailangan mong i-make sure na naiintindihan ka nung kausap mong candidate. So one personal anecdote that I can actually give you, no, it is a personal experience of mine when I did start sa pagiging assessor, no. So before I was an assessor for TM1, I am an assessor for a regular qualification. So yun po ay Scaffolding Works NC2. By the time that I was an assessor for Scaffolding Works NC2, I have been teaching trainers methodology 1 for quite some time, let's say 3 to 4 years. So sanay ako on the way I speak right now, no? Yung Taglish siya, kung kaya ko deliver ng English, na deliver ko talaga yung English. So, the main problem with that is during the assessment orientation ng Scaffolding Works NC2 National Assessment, so since sanay ako ganito magsalita, but mas ano pa ako dati, mas English pa ako magsalita dati kasi kailangan kong mag-English dati daw, sabi ng mga mentor ko, kasi trainer's methodology daw ang akin tinuturo. But anyway, na-discover ko on that note na hindi ako naintindihan. The whole orientation, 20 minutes akong nagsalita, hindi ako naintindihan ng aking mga candidates. So, nag-guilty ako. So, I had to redo the whole assessment orientation in pure Tagalog, or a more native and colloquial, especially construction yon, and of course may background naman ako sa construction. Napakahalaga po na ang language as a consideration on the allowable and reasonable adjustments. Third would be religion. Meron tayong ibang religion kasi that there are certain times of day na kailangan nilang mag-profess ng faith sa kanilang sa kanilang higher being. So it is their responsibility to let them practice their belief or faith. Itong lahat ng ito ay dapat dinidiscuss mo kasi minsan hindi nila alam na allowable yung adjustment na yun. Na meron silang sitwasyon sa buhay nila na nahihiya silang sabihin kasi baka hindi ako payagan ni sir. Si allowable and reasonable adjustment, i-discuss mo talaga yan sa kanila para lang malaman nila na yung mga adjustment na yun ay pwede pala. Okay? So lastly would be physical disability. Okay? With me so far? Pa-react po kung naintindihan. Okay. So next are the do's and don'ts during the national assessment. Pero sige, i-continue muna tayo sa video.
Has given you the cars, you may go to your provincial TESDA office for application of your national certificate. Just bring passport size pictures and the certification fee. However, if your result is not yet competent, you may apply for reassessment at any accredited assessment center of TESDA at your most convenient time. And you will only be reassessed on the units of competency which are found to be not yet competent. Okay, and for your national certification, it is usually given within 5 days after the assessment and it is valid for 5 years. Okay, and we observe strict confidentiality on the result of your assessment. It is only made available to the authorized personnel, and it is kept securely for your integrity. And also, I would like you to know that you can make an appeal. You have the right to make an appeal if you are not convinced or if you are not satisfied with the result of your assessment, or if there are procedures in the assessment that has affected your result. Okay, just make the letter of appeal and submit it to your EC manager within the day or within 24 hours. Otherwise, it is no longer valid. Do we all understand that you came here willfully and with all your consent, and no one has forced you to take the national assessment? Okay, good. Okay, now, for the reminders, please do not leave the assessment area. You are not allowed.
So the next thing na discuss is to what are the evaluation results, and in the event that you actually are with those results, ano yung inyong gagawin. So of course, if you are considered competent, magkakaroon ka of course ng NC. So ang situation ngayon when it comes to the national assessment, pagka you are considered, sorry, if you have reconsidered na you have considered to be competent, is you will be emailed the national certificate na after a day. 24 to 36 hours yan, makakarating na sa inyo yan. Okay, next. In the event naman that you are deemed, no, for example daw, not yet competent on the result, it means to say that you have to have further mastery of the said competencies in order for you to become competent or regarded to as competent on that specific qualification. But if you don't agree with the result of the said assessment, you may or you have the right to appeal. So sinabi din niya yung process when it comes to appealing. Okay? Yung next naman na i-discuss niya would be the do's and don'ts during the national assessment. So establish din natin, no, ano ba yung mga pwede at babawal gawin sa national assessment. Of course, you should do when it comes to the national assessment, regardless of what national assessment it may be, is to observe proper safety and health procedures. Kahit ang qualification natin doesn't really require safety and health, yung mismong pagpa-practice lang natin or pagma-mindset lang natin that all of the things that you will be doing, you will remind yourself that the safety is the number one priority. No? Okay? Next would be, actually mas marami ito sa don'ts, no? You are not allowed to divulge any information on the assessment proceedings. So as a don't, yun, to maintain the integrity and the efficiency, no, of the whole assessment process, you cannot divulge any information within the said national assessment proceedings. At the same time, you are not allowed to take pictures and videos during the national assessment, and you are not allowed to use cell phones. So if you are to use cell phones, or sorry, you're not allowed to use cell phones daw talaga. You can, ano naman, you cannot turn off naman. Pwede naman hindi i-turn off ang cellphones during the national assessment. Just put it in, ano, no, in silent mode para hindi tayo makaabala na ibang tao. And of course, if may tumawag, pag may tumawag, tutunog pa rin naman yung kahit naka-silent mode. So, in the event that you have a message, evidently, it is not that important kasi hindi ka tinawagan. So, as much as possible, you will refrain from using cell phones during the national assessment po talaga. And lastly, you are not allowed daw to leave the assessment premises. So let's continue. Tingnan natin kung ano yung next niyang mga sasabihin during the national assessment orientation.
To roam around the premises of the assessment area. Also, don't use cell phones. Please turn your cell phones into silent mode. Also, don't talk to your assessors or to your co-candidates during the assessment. And please do keep everything confidential. And also, please observe OHS standards during the demonstration. And because it is pandemic time, we have to follow the IATF guidelines of wearing face mask, face shield, and the 1 meter social distance. And also, there are allowable things in the assessment, such as if you have health conditions or health issues, or you are taking maintenance medicines, or if there are pregnant women here, please inform me ahead of time so that I can assist you. Or if you have problems in communication due to language barrier, please inform me ahead of time so that I can make also reasonable adjustments. Even in religion, if there are procedures in the assessment that are contrary to your belief, please inform me ahead of time so that I can make also reasonable adjustments. Okay, these things are being allowed in the assessment because we believe that all candidates should be treated fairly. And for your personal needs, if you are hungry, you may proceed to the cafeteria of the assessment center. And if you need to drink water, we have available water dispenser at the back. And if there are some of you who wants to use the male or the female CR, they are located at the right side of the hall. We have a separate CRs for male and female. Okay, do you understand? Do you have any question? None so far. Okay, so before we move on to the assessment proper, I want you to do your own thing.
So, ganito na lang, para dito tayo mahirapan, I will be providing you with the salient points to be considered on the orientation na ilagay ko na po siya sa ating group chat. But basically kasi ang nangyari, yung order ko ng salient points is not the same as yung order niya sa salient points. It doesn't really matter naman as long as established lahat ng mga points na yun. On the orientation, napakahalaga po kasi yung preparedness po ng ating mga candidates before even the assessment proper begins. So everything should be cleared. Lahat ay wala po dapat ma-miss out. Everything should be clear, everything should be concise so that when the assessment proper comes, the only thing na wino-worry ng ating mga candidates is their own performance and not something that it should be divulged naman before the assessment proper. So alam nila yung gagawin, alam nila yung kailangan nilang gawin, at alam nila kung paano ito makikita ng mga assessor basically. At ano yung mga karapatan din nila at the same time na pwede naman nating i-allow during the national assessment. So once again, I have discussed or I have sent you the 10 salient points na nakalagay sa ating group chat. So that would actually cover all of the salient points during the assessment orientation. I would like for you to, of course, from time to time, communicate with the candidates, no? That is everything clear ba? May mga questions during the assessment orientation. Napakalagang ma-establish po kasi natin yung clarity ng ating national assessment orientation. So yun, na-cover na natin si context and purpose of the assessment, determining the needs of the candidates, conveying information using verbal and non-verbal language, ethical and ethical responsibilities. Ito po yung do's and don'ts. Naipakita na rin natin yung assessment procedure, ano ba yung mga assessment methods. Ayan, ano yung evidences to be collected, ano yung mga requirements, reasonable and allowable adjustments of the candidates. Na-cover na rin natin. So itong hanggang dito sa part na kasi to, ang coverage niya is the assessment orientation, starting from gather and document evidence hanggang dito, maintain records of the assessment procedure. Ay mangyayari po yan during the assessment proper. Kasi that is evidence gathering methods na po eh. Kung mapapansin niyo, ang mahalaga dito is the gathering of the evidences, evaluating of the evidences, making an assessment decision based on the evaluation, recording and maintaining the records, ito ay ginagawa ng isang assessor during the assessment. So yun yung next na gagawin natin. In order for you to actually make up with an assessment decision, you should gather evidences. So of course, before you proceed with the assessment proper, everything should be clarified. And of course, you will assign candidate numbers on your candidates so that they can be addressed by their candidate numbers. So candidate number 1, please proceed to the assessment area while the other candidates will have to wait on the waiting area. So si candidate number, as si candidates naman, at the same time, you will provide them with the necessary tools and materials and equipment for the excuse me, assessment methods, and you will, of course, ito napakahalaga nito, guys. Magbibigay ka talaga ng papel na specific instructions to the candidate at papabasa mo talaga sa kanila. Okay? Let's continue. Tingnan natin. So, ang assessment methods for bookkeeping NC3 would be written test, demonstration, and oral questioning. So, kung walang written test, ang inyong qualification during your own national assessment, nung kayo po ay nagpa-assess din sa qualification na yan, no need to put written test as an assessment method on your COC2 demonstration. Klaro po ba yon? Wala na pong magtatanong mamaya ha. Sir, yung assessment po kasi nitong qualification ko walang written. Magre-written pa po ba ako? Kung wala po sa national assessment ninyo, wala rin. Klaro po, pareak po kung naiintindihan. Okay, so bago ka mag-proceed with the demonstration, you will let them read the specific instructions to the candidate. Yan yung sample ng specific instructions. Papabasa mo yan. So after that, you will proceed with the assessment methods. Panoorin natin kung paano niya ginawa.
First, and I will give you 30 minutes. Okay? Okay, you're back. So are you ready now for the assessment? Ready? Okay. So first, I will give you your number according to your...
Wait, sorry. May ano nga pala dyan, no? May calibration nga pala kami about that. Ang calibration pala, sorry I will resend my ano, no? I will resend my, ano, yung sinabi ko kanina. Tatlo na ang gawin. Kasi ang naalala kong last calibration namin, yung iba ang gusto meron, yung iba gusto wala. Ang naging parang resolution namin, meron na lang para kahit yung mga hindi sinasabing hindi kailangan, at least sobra, wag lang kulang. Maglagay na ng written test as a method sa assessment. Meron o wala man sa national assessment nyo, dito sa COC2 demonstration, maglagay na. Ulitin ko guys ha, naalala ko lang, maglagay na po ng written test sa COC2 demonstration kahit wala po sa actual national assessment ninyo. Klaro po, pareak po muna. Baka po magkaroon tayo ng miscommunication eh. Pareak po kung naintindihan. Kasi naalala ko ito eh. Ito yung pinagtatalunan ng last calibration namin. Na yung iba, ba't wala naman po sa actual assessment, ba't po natin lalagay? Ang naging resolution doon, naalala ko, meron o wala, maglagay na para yung mga, kung tumapat doon sa mga naghahanap na assessor, kayo ay wala kayong maging problema. Okay? Lastly, ulitin ko, ang assessment method ay tatlo, parang institutional assessment. May written test, may demonstration, may oral questioning. Sige po.
Attendance. Okay? And for candidate number 1, Mr. Cruz, you are candidate number 1. And Mr. Dizon, you are candidate number 2. Okay, next, I will give you your specific instructions. Please read them carefully and thoroughly. And if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask me.
So one of the important parts of that specific last minute no is kung mapapansin niyo, pinabasa nila yung specific instructions to the candidate at tumigil talaga siya magsalita. Nag-provide siya talaga ng oras in order for the candidates to actually read the specific instructions to the candidates. Kasi meron literal doon sa rubrics of the CO2 demonstration. Ang nakalagay mismo doon po kasi guys is to provide time for your candidates to read the specific instructions to the candidate. So talagang huminto siya. Okay, let's continue.
Okay, you're done. Now let us start the assessment. I am giving you 6 hours to finish the tasks such as preparing journal entries, posting transactions to their books of accounts, prepare trial balance, prepare financial reports, closing entries, adjusting entries, and post-closing trial balance. And once you are done, please submit to me your paper and proceed to the holding area and wait for your name to be called for your oral questioning. Okay? You may start now.
Ayan, kung napapansin nyo, habang nag-assessment method yung candidate, nagsusulat siya talaga at may papel siya talaga. That is acting out, gathering of the evidences and evaluating of the evidences, guys. Napakahalaga po niyan.
Okay, time is up. Candidates, please pass your paper and proceed to the holding area and wait for your name to be called for the oral questioning. Candidate number 1. Candidate number 1, please sit down.
Dito sa part na to guys pala no, sa assessment proper magdo-double duties talaga yung partner mo kasi kailangan niya mag-count ng dalawang tao. So pagka pinalis si candidate number 1 at papapunta sa candidate number 2, yung partner mo lalabas at papasok uli. Kasi they have to act out two different persons or two different candidates. Okay, let's continue.
Okay, candidate number 1, for your oral questioning, here is your question. What is the difference between periodic and perpetual inventory?
Doon sa part na yun, I would like for your candidates, partner candidates, to actually answer the questions for it to become more realistic. Katulad ng ginawa natin lang naman sa COC1. Di ba sa COC1, yung partner trainees mo ay sumasagot talaga on your oral questioning. I hope this time, ganun din siya on the partner candidates naman. And of course, if you will consider on the feedback that their answers are correct, you should provide them with the correct answers dito pa lang. Kasi merong chances minsan, alam nung assessor mo ng TM1 kung ano yung qualification mo. At kung mali yung sinagot niya dito, at sinabi mo dun sa feedback na tama, pwedeng maging point against the assessor yun. Dun sa nagde-demo, hindi dun sa partner candidate. Kaya mas maganda, sabihin mo na kung ano yung sasabihin nila. Pabalik sa'yo para ma-ensure mong tama yung sasabihin nila. Katulad ng ginawa din lang naman natin last time. Let's continue.
Okay, please go back to the holding area and wait for me to call your name for the result. Thank you. Can you please call candidate number 2? Candidate number 2. Okay, candidate number 2, for the oral questioning, here is my question. Why is it necessary to conduct adjusting entries at the end of the accounting period? Okay, please go back to the holding area and wait for me to call your name for the result.
Dito sa part na to, I would like to reiterate that you will be providing two results on two different instances. So as mentioned earlier, dalawang instance yan, competent at not yet competent. Kaya dalawa, basically, yung training nyo. Kasi dalawang result ang ibibigay ninyo. Magkaibang result. So, ano mas madali mag-provide ng feedback? Sa competent, sa not yet competent? Of course, mas mahirap mag-provide ng feedback sa not yet competent. So, ang feedbacking, one of the most important part of course of the national assessment yan. At ang sabi sa akin ng aking mga mentor, pagka not yet competent ka na result sa isang candidate mo, you have to make sure that 100% matatanggap ito ng inyong pagbibigyan. Ang joke nga sa akin dyan, dapat kahit not yet competent yan, paglabas ng assessment center yan, dapat nakangiti yan. So, responsibilidad po kasi yan no, ng assessor. Kasi pagka in the event na hindi agree ang inyong candidate na po-providean nyo or i-rate nyo as not yet competent na result, hindi magiging maayos yung assessment proceedings. And of course, as mentioned earlier, meron silang karapatan magreklamo. So, napakalaking responsibilidad ng isang assessor to be equipped with the proper feedback mechanism in order for us, the whatever our results based on the evidences gathered may be, kaya nating itong i-relay ng maayos sa ating mga candidates na nire-rate. Let's continue.
Number 1. Okay, so based on the results of your performance, you have undertaken all the tasks within the required standards. You were able to prepare journal entries, post transactions to the ledger with correct running balances. You were able to prepare trial balance, closing, adjusting entries, and post-closing trial balance, and also prepare financial reports. And in the demonstration, you also got 14 out of 15. However, there were only some credit accounts where you forgot to indent. And for the oral questioning, you were able to answer in accordance with the prescribed industry standard. So overall, you satisfactorily performed the task. So for the final result, competency 1 to 5 were all satisfactory. And with all the evidences that I have gathered, you are competent. Congratulations. So here's your rating sheet and competency assessment result, summary or CARS. Please sign it before I give it to the AC manager.
Upon providing with the assessment result, you will let your candidates sign the rating sheets at yung competency assessment result summary o yung CARS natin. That means that whatever the results may be on those said assessment rating sheets and the assessment summary, ina-accept nila. Yan yung sinasabi kong part na medyo mahirap kapag ka not yet competent ang ibibigay mo results. Kasi kailangan nilang tanggapin by means of signature yung result na not yet competent. So yan yung sinasabi kong responsibility ng isang assessor to convince your candidate of the assessment result. Madaling mag-convince guys kapag ka ang result naman natin ay competent. Yan yung pinapangarap nila. Mahirap mag-convince ng isang tao na they are not yet competent. So yan yung isa sa pinaka mahirap na skill ng isang assessor. So tingnan natin kung paano niya gagawin yung sa not yet competent. Pero before we continue, last part naman na ito, yung pagbigay niya ng result sa competent na person, kung napapansin niyo, in-scrutinize niya every assessment method. Hinihiwalay niya yung result on the oral questioning, on the demonstration, and on the written. Lahat na providean niya, lahat may positive remarks, may areas for improvement, yun, yung binanggit niyang however, at may recommendation. So that way you will provide a more holistic assessment feedback. Napakahalaga po niya ng feedback kahit sa competent na tao. So of course, kahit competent ang isang tao, there is always room for improvement. And if hindi ka nag-provide ng proper feedbacking even on a competent person that you have considered competent na kahit hindi pa 100% talaga na sila ay competent na. Ang akalain nila sa sarili nila lahat ng ginawa nila tama, eh may nakita kang hindi naman tama. So you have to point that out pa rin. Let's continue.
And also for your cards. Okay, so upon receiving your cards, you may proceed to the provincial TESDA office, bring passport size pictures, plus the certification fee. Again, congratulations and thank you. Candidate number 2. So candidate number 2, how's the assessment? Okay, how will you rate your performance in a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the highest. 6. Okay, so based from the result of your performance, in the demonstration, you've got a satisfactory result of 12/15. And in the oral questioning, you were able to answer correctly according to the prescribed standards. However, in the written test, you forget that your transactions are periodic type of transactions. So instead of crediting merchandise inventory, you credited cash, which in turn also affected the rest of your transactions, including their running balances. So, for the final result, competency 3, 4, and 5 are satisfactory, but for competency 1 and 2, they are unsatisfactory. So, my evaluation for you is not yet competent. But don't worry, you just need to practice and review periodic and perpetual type of transactions. And you may come back anytime for reassessment once you are ready. And you will only be assessed on the units of competency, which is 1 and 2, where you are found to be not yet competent. Okay, please sign the rating sheet and the cards.
Yan po isang sa mahalagang part din when it comes to providing a result and feedback on a not yet competent person. Yung positive reinforcement that yung pagiging objective pa rin, no? Kahit may positive reinforcement na sasabihin mo exactly kung ano yung naging gaps niya in order for them to actually improve on it. At the same time, you will recommend on how they will improve on it and how would they be reassessed? Napakahalaga po nun, guys. Okay? Sige, tapusin na lang po natin and then I will stop recording.
Okay, thank you very much.
And that concludes the COC2 demonstration. So that would all be for 20 minutes.